welcome to
Live, Laugh, Love.
We've Got Cancer.
And we're really getting through the episodes now.
We are.
And I think this is like episode maybe 15. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it might be the first episode we've learned how to use the microphones.
We are learning every day, guys. We're not natural podcasters or editors, and we weren't actually going to tell our editor that we've
sorry, Steph.
Sound, but
now he's going to find out. This is a little treat when he's editing. He'll find out that we were doing it all wrong. So those episodes where you can hear the planes and the dogs barking and the neighbours putting the rubbish out, it's because we were doing it wrong.
Sorry, everyone.
Really hope that now, though, it's extra important we keep this really close to our faces. So I hope that we are loud enough during this.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So usual thing. Let's begin with actually what we're going to talk about after our little catch-up session.
Yeah.
Death. But it's not going to be so miserable. You just hold your horses. Me and Des are not the miserable sort.
No, we're not.
We're not. But we're going to tell you all about our insights and thoughts on death. And before we do, on that cheery note, we're just going to catch up with our week.
Yeah, and we will, maybe if we've got time at the end, we'll also add some stuff on little wins.
We're going to do, wins.
Just so it's not super depressing.
I was thinking we could do wins, like we could do a win every episode.
Oh, yeah.
That might be nice.
Yeah.
But Jessica, tell me, how has your week been?
Well, I suppose, big win this week. I actually had a nice, I dare to say nice, oncology appointment. Yay!
Yay! And she even, in text, didn't refer to him as Dr. Death, but called him by his name, which I won't repeat. So that is a real positive sign.
Yeah. So, we don't want our weekly updates to totally be medical updates every time, but I feel like it's quite a significant one this week.
It is.
As you know, if you'll have been following the pod.
Which, of course, you have.
The question for me at the moment is clinical trials or chemo. So I had a meeting last week and they said, we've taken your bloods, they've come back. Unfortunately, nothing relevant in the realm of clinical trials, which is a bit of a kick in the gut because it was just like another option to have.
Can I add in, it's very much a kick in the gut because they literally said to Jess, by the way, you might have to choose between a clinical trial and a chemo. Definitely pick the clinical trial, choose that over the chemo. And then they said to her, there is no clinical trial. So it's like, great, I'll have to take the chemo, but you didn't seem keen on that.
Yeah.
But now they've said
there's hopefully potentially a clinical trial. Again, it's not fully confirmed, so fingers crossed for me, everyone.
Things might not work out, but it is a good news day.
Yeah, so there's a potential early phase, which means it's the first time that these drugs will be treated or tested on humans. So it's a little bit of a nerve-wracking one, but it does, in the ever-positive mindset, it always gives us hope that it could be a new great cutting-edge treatment that they could give me and it could really help things. So if I can get a spot, that's where I'm on at the moment. My oncologist has gone back
to see if there's a spot available
for me.
But also I think, although I might be about to lie, in my mind, phase 1 trials, there's no placebo.
Yeah, everybody, I don't think there is, yeah.
So everybody, including Jess, gets the medicine, but they're testing the toxicity of it on humans, and then they're testing dosage. So
just to see the side effects, whether it could be a viable medicine, what the dosage should be, etc. So that's as far as I understand it. They'll tell me a bit more, obviously, if I'm able
if you can get on it, which is still up in the air. But the fact there is one is huge, it's because positive. Literally last week there wasn't one.
Yeah. And also, so I've got this other chemo, which nobody seems very positive about.
Typical.
But I've also got a 5th line treatment that they've called it, which was a drug that drugs companies were allowing to be prescribed, but it was being approved by NICE, the kind of UK drug
UK
board.
FDA people.
Yeah. So it was going through the approval process, and they said it could be withdrawn at any time, and if you're not on it when it gets withdrawn, you won't be able to have access to it. We don't know what's going to happen, but they told me this week as well that it has been approved.
Yay!
By NICE. So
good
it is still an option
Jess.
If I need to go down the chemo route, which I could do if, I could do the clinical trial for a bit and
do what I want
or whatever. So it's nice to have options. I think that's always the positive takeaway. And to get 2 positives in one meeting is unheard of.
Unheard of.
So yeah, that was a good start to the week. But as you can maybe still hear, I am still quite breathless.
Oh yeah. So they don't think it's the infection.
They don't think it's an infection. They think it's because my tumor or tumors on my diaphragm or my liver is so swollen that it's stopping my diaphragm from moving up and down properly, which is frustrating because it's not something that can be easily cured. Just means that my poor little, there's just no space in my abdomen, my lungs to fully expand. So it's kind of causing me to be a bit breathless. But we did have a walk back from town just now.
About 15
and I
minutes.
did it.
Which
so
is
I'm
huge.
feeling good.
Which I think is a real good marker.
Yeah, it's just a bit frustrating that like it's such a simple thing to go for a stroll. Whereas if you're constantly like feeling like you're running when you're walking is not ideal. But
we're hoping that if it's about the liver being swollen, the steroids that Jess has been put on will sort the swollen liver,
reduce it a little bit and allow me to have a bit more
breath,
lung capacity.
Yeah, we hope so.
So let's see
how that goes. You're only on day 2 of steroids.
Yeah.
So there's time for those to work.
Yeah.
And then maybe this clinical trial. And the clinical trial is for a targeted KRAS mutation, people.
Yeah, which is the difficult mutation that I've got in my
the most common
tumor.
Most common, but most
is one of the common ones,
but least stuff for.
Yeah, no, they don't have any immunotherapy. For some reason, it seems to be a bit of a tricky one to target and identify and tackle. So glad that there's new drugs coming onto the market, hopefully to try and sort it out. And hopefully I will be on the cutting edge of that research.
Edge of science.
Let's hope so.
Your face is going to be on all the posters. Like it'll be Jess's face and bowel cancer.
The face of bowel cancer.
The face of bowel cancer. I know you've wanted nothing more.
But in non-medical news, I suppose I haven't really done that much. But if you'd have been following our Insta, very exciting. My friend Emma is going to do a triathlon this weekend. So that's my excitement for Sunday this week. She's gonna do an Olympic triathlon, which she hasn't done much training for, but she's telling me that is where she's getting her confidence from. You know, don't think about it too much, just throw yourself into it, it'll be fine. And she is naturally a very good runner, so I think that she will be able to pull it off.
She's done one before.
Yeah, she has done one before.
So she's fit. Yes, Emma.
She knows what she's doing.
And she's raising money for bowel cancer research.
Yes. So
find the link in our bio. We'll put it in our bio.
Yeah, it would be great if you could get some more donations in there. Would very much appreciate it for more continued research.
Yes, we want that research.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll fill you in about that next week. You'll have to take some pics and we'll maybe put some on Instagram because we're crazy.
So yeah, how's your week been?
My week's been really good. I was trying to think what I did. I went down to London. I've done other stuff, but I don't remember what it was. But over the weekend,
we haven't even caught up about this.
Oh my God, I've actually not. No. Went down to London for the weekend, and the Saturday daytime I went to an event called Cancer in Common,
which I was meant to go to, but I couldn't go because of my lungings.
Oh, but yeah, but we're gonna go maybe again in August.
Oh,
I'll text you.
Okay.
So Cancer in Common, big shout out to that charity. I think it's a charity organization. I'm not 100% sure, but what they do is they kind of put together these events for people with a cancer diagnosis or a link to the cancer world. There are people there without cancer, but people that do have a link into the world, and they get together and it's like a dancey, having fun, sparkles, glitter, sequin type affair.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was the most like empowering time. It was really fun, as in it was just nice to meet people, blah blah blah. But then they were doing this dance thing, you know, where everyone stands in a circle and dances, and then one person goes in the middle.
Oh God, that is a bit nightmare inducing.
To me, that's like so much fun. I'm like, get me in
I
the
don't
middle.
want to be in the middle.
I would love it, but I actually didn't go in because I didn't know anyone. I went down. I'd met one of the ladies there for a coffee once, and that's all I knew. So I was definitely like a bit of a newbie, but everyone was lovely, so it didn't matter. Anyway, they were doing this dance circle. So everyone's in a circle. One person goes in the middle, does a dance. You know how it is. Anywho, there are a few people there that have had double mastectomies and no implants. And one of the ladies that's had a double mastectomy, she's had a tattoo all along her chest
Wow.
of like flowers and like a vine. And we're all just really getting carried away in the moment, just like, wow, amazing. And then she just whipped off her top and was
Love
like
that.
cowboying it, whatever it is, above her head. And then someone else with a double mastectomy implant, and this, you can see the scars, no tattoo on the second person. She whipped off her top in support for person one, and they're both doing this with their tops. And it was, you know, when you could cry just from like, this feels such a special moment.
Yeah.
Not like sadness or happiness, just like, wow, this feels like tingly, this moment.
Yeah.
Because these two women are out in a bar,
so empowered
in London,
Yeah.
but in such a safe environment, and they can just take it off, and like the biggest smiles on their faces, everyone cheering, like positive energy everywhere. So it was really, really good.
Wow.
And then after that, so I'd recommend going on their website or going on their Instagram, Cancer in Common, and they do events out of London as well. So there'll probably be one in your city, if not nearby, or there's the one in London I went to this summer, seems to be their biggest of the annual ones, but then they do lots of other stuff as well. Then I went for tea with my friend Laura. Hey Laura, I know she listens to the pod.
Shout out to Laura.
Shout out to Laura. To meet her fiance Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's really nice. Needed to get to know her because I don't know her very well. And then I went the next day to see my friend Naomi. Hey Naomi. And then I went for tea with all my uni pals. Hey uni pals.
Wow.
I know Sarah in particular listens to all the pods. Hey Sarah. So that was really, really nice. You know, when you get to go down to London and just see a lot of people.
Yeah, you did a lot there. Packed a lot in.
I did. I didn't
and
see
you had a nice
everyone.
hotel stay.
Had a free hotel stay because they'd messed up and said a free hotel stay on us. And so I booked it for me and Jess, and then Jess didn't come, so I had a hotel to myself.
That is nice though. Did you just fully starfish?
Fully starfished, watched the Serena and Venus Williams film.
But is it good?
It was good, but it didn't finish till like 1:30 in the morning. You know, when you're like, I don't know if I wanted to watch this that much, and now I'm really tired.
Yeah.
But it's just like nice to watch something
after
in bed.
a long day.
Yeah, in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So that was great. What a great weekend. Love it.
That sounds fab.
Fab, darling.
So there you go. That's our updates.
Yep.
Lots of excitement.
Yep.
So we should move on to our
topic
of the week.
Death.
The very cheery topic of death.
Right. So
you're saying afterlife, or
should we call it afterlife?
Well, no, I just mean what. So Becky came up with this idea for this pod. So what were you thinking?
So
when
I was
you thought about it?
I was talking to someone recently. I think it might have been at Cancer in Common, and I was saying, you know, one thing I've had to do this year is kind of get my head around death, and it's not like a really, really big, scary concept for me anyway. I know I'm not saying that like, I'm ready to just pop my clogs. I am not. And like really hoping that I'm the medical marvel, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm talking like rationally, you know, there's a thing about death that actually like I am not going to be sad because I am not going to be here to be sad. So the sadness is really on others.
Yeah.
So it's about them being ready and prepared and able to manage life when I'm not in it. Because don't worry about me, because I will not have any negative feelings on it.
Yeah.
I will be gone. And I'm not saying, like, it's easy to say that now, and it will be really hard in the moment. And like, if someone turned around and said, your medicine stopped working, Becky, and there's nothing else, like, that's going to be super tough.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be like Becky Big Bollocks about, oh, totally, I'm fine. I won't be fine and it'll be awful. But I'm just trying to use while I've got it, while I'm not as emotionally invested in that moment, I'm trying to explain where my rational head is at. And also, like, part of me is like, you know, I know people that have died. They're going to be waiting for me up there, have a big party. You know, I'm not going to be going to a party alone. I know people there. I'll see them.
Yeah, well, this is also the thing I was gonna. When you said about death, there's very different like thoughts of whether there is an afterlife or not. We may be getting too philosophical,
We
but
love
I
it.
know so both my parents have died. I mentioned before on the pod, and I think when I was younger, my dad died when I was 15, and I thought for me, actually, the thought of an afterlife kind of seemed cruel. It wasn't comforting at all to me
Why?
because I was like, my dad's been taken away, and he might be like a living or a conscious being somewhere else, and we're separated. And that felt horrible.
Did that feel horrible for you, or in thinking of him being separated?
Well, both really. It was for me, I think. Like,
well, how old you were? 15.
15, yeah.
Tricky age.
So I think it's maybe like the mindset of it. But I still don't know. For some reason, it was a little bit more comforting for me to think he'd had a great life. His funeral was so packed with people that he couldn't even get in the church. Like, he had a great time. I think he lived his life well, and we all had a lot of love for him. And so that was more comforting for me. Like, you've really had a good run, and now you're
like no regrets.
Yeah, so whether you're not in existence somewhere, I don't think that didn't cause me much distress. I actually thought, as long as you've lived a good life, then that's a great way to have seen it through. Like, I didn't get any comfort from the thought that he might be somewhere else.
Like, what happens after death is of little significance to you.
Yeah.
The most significant thing is, can we celebrate the life lived?
Yeah.
Which I think is a really good point.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm not saying that what I'm going to say is my constant feeling. I'm just kind of spouting some shit and seeing what we all think.
Yeah.
But I think in this like world we're in now, we put a lot of emphasis in staying alive. You know, it's like, well, you should have medicine. I can sue someone if like I'm hit by a bus. There's a blame culture. I can like say that that's bad. If I get ill, I expect medicine to be able to fix me. In childbirth, I no longer expect to die in childbirth. Like, that should be okay. And I feel like we live in a world of, I expect that I am owed like 90 years because which I love, because I want that. I want the medicine. I want people to be safe on the roads and the buses, whatever, on the cars, to help me get my 90 years. But I think it creates this environment of, so I'm owed all the time. So if I don't reach it, then that's not fair. I've been robbed of time. Whereas I feel like if you go back hundreds of years or whatever, thousands of years, it wasn't like that. It was, people come and they go. And that is part of life. You come in and you leave, and that's how it is. And it's never okay, and people were always sad. I'm not saying people weren't sad when people died, but now in particular feels like if you're young, you definitely shouldn't have a diagnosis, and you definitely shouldn't die because you are owed your old age. But actually, I think we've gone from being lucky to have old age to being owed it, and now but I'm not saying I think that's right. I'm just saying I'm spouting shit, and that's a thought. So I don't know, but I like the idea of, my whole thing for afterlife stuff is energy. I really believe that we're all created with all this energy, and that our energy does not die. Like, the energy doesn't, like, maybe our physical body, yeah, but the energy is energy. It has to go somewhere. That's how it works. And whether it like goes into nature or fills the tree or goes into the plants or is in the atmosphere or is in the air or is in like the sea waves, I believe it's somewhere. And I like so strongly believe that. And I feel like it's faith. I feel like I've got a strong faith system, which I think I'm really lucky to have, and I love it. But I also feel like it's based on science. I'm like, no, the energy can't go. The energy is there.
Can't be created or destroyed.
Can't be, yeah.
GCSE science.
Oh my God, you're so smart. You did do, your work was so science focused. But
I don't actually know if it applies. I feel
it applies.
It applies. I feel like I'm being told it applies.
It applies.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to tell me your point of view. You're allowed to disagree. That's what makes it interesting.
I don't think I I really don't know. And I think it's still, even though we're talking about it and we have been told, you're going to die young, blah, 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 it's still very conceptual in my mind. It's not like somebody has told me that and now I've really contemplated on the thought of death.
Yeah.
I think one of the initial things that I thought, again, it was just like a life well lived. That's what I thought. Like, if I was like as far down that road as I've got, it was just like a quick thought of like, if it is true and we're not medical marvels, I've actually had a really good run and I'm happy with everything.
Like, no regrets.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I said to Mark, like, no regrets. If things happen and now, I wouldn't have done any of it differently.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, I've had a lot of adventure and great family and friends, and yeah, so I feel like it's still very, very conceptual. And the older I get, the more softened I have become to the concept of maybe people are still out there. Like,
do you believe
maybe mum and dad are having a big old party in heaven?
Probably having a good time. What are your thoughts on two things? On there being different, like, parallel universes and like everything's happening in tandem but different lives are being led, or B, something else which I've forgotten, so I'll just stick with A.
Parallel universes. Did you read that? Is like The
Midnight Library?
No, that is a good one though.
That's what I'm reading at the minute.
Oh, but
and that's what's
there's
making
another,
me think
like the Amber Spyglass and all that.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Philip Pullman series where you could go into other universes.
Yeah,
I always thought it was an interesting concept, but I don't think I believe it myself.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah,
but what about the Midnight Library? But I don't know.
The Midnight Library, I listened to it as an audiobook, which I always find I like a little bit less.
It depends who the author is. If it's not Stephen Fry, you're at risk.
Yeah, it was an actress that read it, and I just didn't really
American?
Rate it. No, she was an English one.
Okay, that's okay. Americans are okay too. It's just that some of the American Audible actors are
No, I can't remember it fully. Is it like you make different choices and then you have different paths?
Yeah. And it's like she has a book of regrets.
Oh.
And then I won't do a full story
book review.
Yeah, I won't do a full book review. But like, I'm halfway through and I think it's interesting.
Okay. How about you? So what are your thoughts on parallel universes? And
I really believe that I really don't know, but I am fully, strongly in belief that no one can tell me it doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, I think, yeah.
But it's not that I know it does. It's just that I'm not closed off to the idea that it could exist. So it's kind of like exciting. Like, I don't know what's out there. But have you heard the poem about the two babies in the womb?
No.
Right, I'm not going to do this poem justice. Maybe we'll put it in the caption. But it's about two babies being in a womb. They're twins. And they're communicating with each other. And they're like, oh my God, have you heard about life after delivery? And they're like, oh my God, no. I just think like nothing happens after delivery. No one comes back. No one tells us what goes on. Once you're delivered, like, that's the end. Oh my God, it's so scary. And they're like, oh my God, but you might meet mum. And they're like, have you ever met mum? Like, mum doesn't exist. I don't know what mum is.
That's so funny.
And they're like, mum provides for you. Mum keeps you safe. Mum feeds you. Mum gives you food, whatever. And they're like, yeah, sure it does. I don't see mum, so I don't think that is mum. So life after delivery is just awful. Anyway, and obviously, as you can probably guess, that's meant to be the link between life after death. Like, just because no one's come back or no one can see God, doesn't mean that none of that exists or doesn't exist. So it's just that being open to it. And I feel like I don't even think it's like more of a purpose or a bigger picture. I just feel like I don't have all the answers, and I kind of love that, and I'm absolutely okay with not knowing the answers. And even though, however scary it is to find out, because not being Billy Big Bollocks, I would like as much time on here as possible.
Me too.
We're doing everything we can to get as much time, but the other part of me that tries to like not link emotion is like, do you know what? There's something to explore there. But like you said, I was saying to someone, you know how people go, oh, you're so brave, you're so strong. It's not that. It's that I feel like people say this about the universe. It's too big a concept to get your head around. So I rationally have my head around it. I can understand what you're saying to me. Life limiting, die young. I understand that language, but I am emotionally not there.
Yeah, me neither.
I am nowhere near.
Still very conceptual.
So conceptual. I do not have an emotional link to someone saying that to me. It is just a rational, okay, I understand that might happen.
Yeah.
But when the emotional link happens, that will probably be awful.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think, again, going back to my experiences, actually the time that they told us that there's no more treatment options.
Is this for
my parents?
Both of them?
Yeah. That was almost more traumatic than the actual passing itself. Because that's when the flip comes from hope to then it's like,
no hope.
No hope. You just got to ride it out now. So in a way, that's maybe more of a difficult time than the concept of actually passing away.
Do you think it's that, like, as well, like knowing the inevitable crap is coming, you kind of have to, and I find this with my friends and family, not that anyone's, just a fact of life, like everyone has to get prepared for living without you, but you know this bad thing's coming and you can't actually get prepared for living without you because you might be living a long time with me.
Yeah.
But it's hard in that, I guess, in that period when they're like, there's nothing we can do. You're just waiting in this period of, well, what's life like after? But I don't want to get to that point, but I'm stuck here in this real crap space.
Yeah. I don't know.
How did you feel about with your mum, because she had 10 years after diagnosis?
Yeah, so it was very like up and down, but there was always, and I think I have this mindset too, there was always another chemo to try, or there's always, this one isn't working, but we'll swap, and then she'd respond to that. This wasn't working, we'll swap and respond to that. So it was like a slight panic when it was like all the chemo stopped, but then there was always another option, which I think with mum, like, or whatever type of breast cancer she had, there seemed to be a lot of options.
Yeah.
She had a lot of different types of chemo that she responded really well to. So that it was like up and down stress through that period of time, but then it was like once you're on the last one and that stops working, then it's like, the exhausting all options conversation is nasty.
Do you ever think of the fact that your dad had died when your mum died? Was it a comfort knowing that he died and maybe they'd be together, or was that not a thing?
Yeah, maybe. I think, like I say, like the older I've got, the more open to that kind of mindset I am. And like, I think certainly my family, because my uncle, my mum's brother, died quite quickly after my mum, and the way that we were talking like cousins was that they're up there together, like mum, dad and Uncle Brendan, they're all having a good old party, and mum and Brendan got scattered in the same, their ashes got scattered in the same, like in our home village in Ireland. So that was comforting.
Okay,
I think a comforting concept that they're potentially together. So I really don't know. I guess it's a good thing that I can have comfort from. No, they're not somewhere else, and it doesn't hurt me to think that anymore, like that they might be somewhere separated from me. But I think just when I was younger, that concept was probably just a bit too much. It's like a double loss. Like you've lost them in real life, and then now they're living somewhere and you can't communicate with them.
Do you believe in ghosts, or like not ghosts, but like, you know how people communicate with the other side?
Well, actually, one of your earlier questions did prompt that thought in me. I never thought I did, but actually on my dad's side, they are quite spiritual.
Would you say spiritual rather than religious?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like my granddad was like just a Geordie, like worked down the mines all of his life, like proper working class bloke.
Yeah.
Not the kind of guy that you'd think would be like communicating with the other world.
Yeah.
Or being a hippie in any way. But he used to say that he could see my grandma and talk to her in his sleep sometimes.
So when people say that to you, because I've had family members be like, I believe in ghosts, or like I've seen a ghost, so I don't know what I believe, but I've seen it or communicated, whatever. When people say that, does it make you think
maybe there's something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad as well, like he, again, just like normal, like working class, like in the RAF, big old Yorkshire man.
Just working class.
Working class. That's how I feel like all Northerners are. I'm allowed to say it because it's my family. He used to say he said he saw a ghost because they'd gone to this castle. He was a history geek as well. Gone to this castle, looked around all the rooms and stuff, and they were outside. And then there was this doorway, and he saw someone walk past in the doorway. And he was like, oh, I haven't been in there yet. So he went in, not taking his eyes off it, or like he just walked straight up to it. And when he got in, there was nobody in there. So he was like, he always used to tell us that he'd seen a ghost. And my cousin Emma on that side also is like, she feels quite connected to that.
I love that
element from my granddad because he raised her to.
Right, okay, yeah.
And she said she's seen my grandma on the stairs in their old house. So because I've got that element in my family, like people that I don't think should be spiritual or believe in that kind of thing, but they are, and they are totally convinced of it. It does then make me think
maybe it is
maybe
real.
There is something, yeah.
My mum's seen, she said, what was it? She was lying in bed, and then she woke up in the middle of the night, and she said this ghost was like leaning over her. Well, like this guy, she didn't know it was a ghost. She was like, this like man was leaning over her, and then it took, a few moments for that not to exist, and it was there for a ghost. And then she's not the only person. I've heard I was recently away with a friend, and they had the same story, like right then, like that evening. Oh my god, last night.
Oh really?
And you're like, there's something happening, and I like, you just wonder, like, are people insane? Are we making it up? Are we tired? Are we confused? Are we hungover? What's going on? Or is there something there? And like how we think we've got 3 dimensions or whatever, or the 4th dimension, I get a bit mixed up. And it's like, well, there absolutely could be another dimension. You know what it's like? It's like sound. You know how they say as you get older, you can't hear the top pitch?
I've done a test. I'm terrible.
But like some people can hear it.
Yeah.
So you know it exists. Because scientifically it says it can exist, and some people can hear it. So we just believe it. But we can't hear it.
Yeah, just because you can't like see it or touch it, I guess doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah. And so you're then like, well, if science says quantum physics and all that quantum stuff can exist, and some people say that they can then like see ghosts or have these experiences, just because I haven't doesn't mean it doesn't. So it's just an interesting one.
Yeah, I haven't fully come down either way, but I think I'm like quite just like to connect to nature and stuff. So I feel like even if there isn't an afterlife or whatever, I would quite like a little tree to be planted.
Okay.
So that like friends
we're putting that out there now. I also
go
would
to
like
the tree and just remember me and whatever.
What kind of tree?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to think.
And like whereabouts?
It'd have to be somewhere accessible in the UK.
Okay, very practical. And are you thinking Norfolk or?
No, that's a bit too far away.
I would love the Dales.
I would love Norfolk because I did love growing up there, but
you can have whatever you want.
Up north, I think.
Up north, Dales.
Maybe I'll have to do some scouting.
Okay, we'll do some scouting. I don't know.
Somewhere with a view.
Okay, that'd be nice. I don't know where I land in terms of what I believe in the afterlife, but what I do strongly believe is that it's not finite, like over. I don't believe that. So I believe at the very least our energy is going to be bobbing around the countryside in the wind and like in the trees, and all of like our electrons and whatever it is that make us up are all bobbing about, and it's all positive energy because I'm quite positive, and my positive vibes will just go out, and positive energy is a thing. We have positive electrons, so why that can't just bob about somewhere else? So wherever that is, and if it's at a tree, that's good. And that reminds me, did you ever watch the Richard Hammond thing on YouTube?
No.
Richard Hammond had a big car accident, on Top Gear, and he was in a coma for a while. And then you need to really watch the YouTube link because, again, I'm not about to do the whole story, but there's this little part of his story is that so he's in a coma, but he doesn't know he's in a coma. He's walking up a hill in the Lake District to a particular tree, and he can see this tree, and he's just walking up to the tree, and he goes on, and he obviously says it a lot better than me. He gets this really uncomfortable feeling like, oh, like I feel like I'm being told off, like I know I'm being really naughty going to this tree, but I'll keep going. And then it's like he's called back, and he's like, oh, I feel like I'm being told to come back, but I'm so close to the tree, and like the tree was my goal, so I'll just keep going to the tree. And then he feels like he's being called back, and he's like, I feel like I'm pretty sure I might have got this slightly. I hope I've not like messed up his story, but like he then is basically like, right, maybe I should go back. I think he described it, or I imagined it as being like, you know, when you're out after your curfew, you're like, shit, I want to keep playing my friends patch. I probably should go back. So he turns around and he goes back, and he wakes up. And what had happened in real life was his wife had said to the doctors, like, nothing's working for him, you need to give me some time with him. And she was screaming at him like, you get back here right now.
Oh my God,
I'm so angry at you. Or like really like the anger came out is how he described it. Like it wasn't a sadness like, oh, I'm really sad. It was like, you can't tell me, get back this minute. And in like how he describes it, it was like getting to the tree would have been him passing through.
Yeah.
But he turned around before.
That's so cool.
This feeling of going back. So you're like, I don't know what's real. I don't know, like, especially in a coma, like what you can. I don't know anything about comas, but you know, it's just an interesting limbo. What's that word? Not purgatory. What's that bit where it's between life and death? Is that purgatory?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like that in betweeny bit. That's someone
limbo, maybe.
Yeah, he's had that experience, and we go like, oh well, you don't know because nobody knows. And then people say, well, actually, I've had this experience, and I think I know. And we go, oh, I don't. That's not real. That's just you were tired, or you were ill.
There's always the question of like, how much is it? Because there's so much about our brains that we don't understand.
Yeah,
like how much of that is going on, and how much of it is real. But then, if it is our brains making it, is it then just real anyway?
Yeah, that's the question. Does it matter if our brains made it up? Does that make it fake, if it's still real to us? Real,
yeah.
Interesting.
I know you could go down so many rabbit holes with this.
You really could.
But yeah, really interesting. I haven't fully thought too much about it. I'm not sure we're fully there yet, but interesting concepts. I would like to think, and I guess all of our friends and family are gonna take whatever their beliefs are, aren't they? Like about whether we're floating around, or whether we're reincarnated, or whether we're just buried. Or
that was going to be when I said A and B, there's going to be reincarnation.
I think I'm still a little. I really flip between both. I'm like, in some ways I'm very practical and like science based, and then some ways I'm like, well, maybe. So I really don't know. I don't think I believe solidly in one specific like thought system,
which I think's fair. You don't have to put everything up to one.
I don't know what I believe, but I'm not sure about reincarnation.
It's
a nice thought,
but then it is a nice thought, but then it's also like if you did something bad, you're like a snail or something.
Yeah, and I did go to these. So there's a Buddhist meditation center in Leeds that I did go to a few sessions. Yeah. And their concept of death, in some way, it was interesting, but it's also, I don't know, I found some of the things that they said quite triggering, because it was just like, it read to me sometimes and maybe this was because it was earlier on in my journey, but it felt to me like just give up. Not give up, but like whatever's going to happen to you is going to happen, so just accept it.
Let go of control.
And I was then thinking like, I don't want to just accept
it. That's not how we've tackled this.
I'm going to like carry on and fight as much as I can.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me like a selfish person for wanting to.
It doesn't mean you're not accepting it. It doesn't mean that you're delusional and can't cope. It's just this, why can't I choose, if I'm limited time, why can't I choose to do everything in my power that I think might help?
Whereas that, so I guess it's how you interpret it. But for me at that point, it kind of came across as a bit triggering. So I was a bit like,
I
not sure I like this. Whereas I can see their point of like, don't stress about things that you can't control.
Yeah.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But I don't know if that was a bit too far out there.
We're living in a world of, sure, we can cure cancer.
Yeah.
We'll just
I'll
have
sort it out for myself.
Vitamin D and no carbs, and we'll probably be cancer free.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't, even though we know that that's not true, that is, we're choosing to believe that we can make a difference because it helps us.
Yeah.
It's important for us to believe that we can make a difference.
Yeah.
To our own
the
stories.
kind of Buddhist or at least that's how I interpreted it. Like, I can appreciate that don't stress about what you can't control. But I was also like, I'm not just going to give up and not try and
I'm glad
fight.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm not sure either. I feel like in different religions, there's different things. But I very much believe like there is no judgment after life. I don't feel like you do something and you come back as a less important animal or whatever.
And I like God punishes you.
I don't believe in heaven and hell. I believe in something, which I don't know what it is, but I don't like this idea of, you're not allowed to make mistakes. Like I remember I went to a conversation thing and people were talking about Jesus, and obviously like he's meant to have never sinned, and I don't have all my religious facts quite there, so this might be just a load of shit. But in my mind, some people were saying to me like, oh, like the good thing about an important thing about Jesus is like he's never sinned, and there's a phrase there that I should know about like not sinning, whatever. But in my mind, a person is much more impressive if they might have made a mistake and they can move on. Like for someone to be perfect, actually to me is the opposite of perfect. Making someone perfect is someone that makes mistakes and can move on and rectify and change and learn and adjust. So the concept of being judged for things, I don't know, it doesn't quite sit right. But I know people do bad things, and I know that is bad, and I know some people don't like seek forgiveness or like don't
want to change.
So I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying I understand how that all works, but I just don't think there's this. I definitely don't believe in heaven and hell.
Yeah, and like punishment.
No.
For your sins.
No, I think for me the idea is you have to live with them. Yeah. And that is the biggest punishment of all. So that's that. Hey, we've managed to do like a whole thing on death.
Wow, yeah.
And we're still smiling, guys. If you're not watching and just listening, we aren't that sad.
I know, so it was quite a rambly and very unpredicted kind of unpredictable episode. We hadn't even spoke to each other about what we thought about this beforehand.
No, like honestly, everything else is so well planned and thought through. Obviously,
as you can tell,
it's so crazy that this one we didn't come with a plan.
But yeah, that's an interesting chat, I thought. But don't worry, guys, we're not going to pop our clogs yet.
No way.
And we're still very positive, and we're still determined to eke out as much of this life as we can do.
Yeah, that is, whatever we say, our main priority, let's be 100% clear, is we're eking out all the life we can get.
Yeah, so no Grim Reaper visits for us yet. But just an interesting to think about sometimes.
Yep. Okay.
Well, we hope we haven't depressed you.
Yeah, we'll leave you on that cheery note.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.